Good morning. Good morning. Hey, Facebook. Hey, IG. We're going to do the simultaneous broadcasting again this morning, and just got a couple quick tips for you. Really, I got a question for you. And once again, good morning. This is your girl, Sheree Robin, live and live in color. And I'm always excited. You guys who know me at this point in time know that I'm always excited. And I love being able to share and talk about writing. So one of the big things that I really want to talk about is knowing what you're actually writing about, right? So this happens all the time. And it is usually the reason why most writers have writer's block, is because you don't know what you're really writing about, or you're not clear on how to organize your stuff because you don't have a clear picture in your mind what you're actually writing about. So this is really for the nonfiction authors, right? Those nonfiction folks who want to tell their story, right? So I've worked with dozens, hundreds of people at this point in time who want to tell their story. Good morning, everybody. How you guys doing? Good morning. Make sure you say good morning, say hello, check in, say what's up, good morning, all that good stuff. So really, I want to get into understanding what you're really writing about, right? So what happens is people will say, well, I want to tell my story, right? I know that my story is valuable. I've been through something. I've survived this situation. So I want to tell my story. Well, what happens with that is most times we don't know exactly how to tell the story or what the purpose of telling the story really is. So you have to kind of make up in your mind and understand that the reason why you're doing this, right? Why I want to tell my story. And this is for nonfiction writers, right? We're thinking about what it is you're actually writing about. So if you are somebody who has survived something, you've undergone, some major type of surgery, or you've survived an abusive relationship, or your business has tanked and you've been able to bring it back up, all of these things that have happened to you, you're really positioning yourself to be an expert and to share this information with people. So when you say, I want to tell my story, what you really are doing is like giving lessons. You are giving people information. You're teaching them by way of your mistakes how to not make those same mistakes. Or if they weren't mistakes, if it was something that you went through an experience, how did you overcome and get past that thing, right? So what you're writing about isn't just me. It's not a selfish story. It's not a my story. It's really a story that's going to motivate and move people to action, to do something different. So when you think about what are you writing about, think about why you're writing it. Think about the reason at the heart of why you want to tell your story. Who are you thinking about addressing? Why are you doing this? And who are you thinking about is going to benefit from this information, right? So, and I always call it the difference between self-expression and communication, right? So let's use this example of, if I were to say to you, I don't like going to Walmart during the day, right? I don't like going to Walmart. That sentence doesn't really give you anything other than my selfish take on the fact that I don't like going to Walmart, right? I'm not a big fan of going to Walmart in the daytime. But if I were to say to you that I shop at Walmart at night when there's no one in the stores and the lines are short, because I can get in and out really quickly, that sentence is an informative sentence. That sentence actually gives you some valuable information. There's a takeaway from that sentence, right? So what I'm showing you is that there's a way to get your shopping done, right? There's a way to avoid these crazy lines at Walmart, especially this time of year. I'm thankful I live near a 24-hour Walmart. So I'm glad about that. But the reason why people are often stuck is because they're not thinking about the purpose behind their message. They're not thinking about the people that they want to actually get this message to. So it's not a selfish, me, this is what I went through. I got this job. I quit this thing. I survived this situation. It doesn't work like that. You really have to think about who you're helping, right? And why you started this in the first place. What are you actually doing here? All right. So if you take some time and break down your story, right? I want to tell my story. I want to talk about what I've gone through. I want to talk about how I got to this next level in my life. Take a moment to brainstorm about all the things that you learned, all of the nuggets that you got in this experience. How did you get to the level where you are, right? And those are the things that you want to make sure are in your book. Not just me, but the actionable steps, the things that help you get to the next level. It drives me crazy when I get a manuscript and somebody's like, oh man, I was going through this and boy, I'm so glad I'm over that. Really? Well, how'd you get over it? Well, how did you get to the next step? How did you move from this place where you were stuck and destitute and going through and broke and living in your grandmama basement to now this place where you just paid, put your deposit down in your first home? How did you get there? Show us, teach us. People are reading your book to get information from you, not just to learn about everything that you like and don't like, but they really want to find out how to get to apparently where you are. If you are going to position yourself to help people. Give them the information and the knowledge that they're looking for and that they're seeking for. Make sure that those steps are in your book. Where else would they be? That's why they're coming to get this information from you. So when you're concerned, people are always like, oh, I'm not sure. I'm stuck in this place. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And people are like, I'm stuck in this place and they don't know what to write or fill their book with. Fill your book with valuable stuff. Fill your book with actual steps and tips and things that are going to help people move out of the rut that they're in. So that's my encouragement for you this morning, guys, is to really, really take the time and think about what you want your book to do, right? What are you actually writing about? It's not just, I want to tell my story, but I want to tell my story. Why? Why do I want to tell my story, right? And for me, I've been working and doing what I've been doing for a very long time. And it's not until somebody actually asks me about my story that I sit down and go, oh, you know what? You're right. I have to tell you about these things that I went through. I have to tell you about the fact that I was on welfare. I have to remind you about the fact that I survived an abusive relationship. People don't know these things, right? So it's not just, this is me. But what did I do? You know what Sheree did? Sheree took her tail to church. Sheree got saved. Sheree rededicated her life. Sheree got focused. Sheree started using affirmations and speaking life over her life. Sheree stopped dealing with the people in my history, stop going back to those same situations and relationships. But I started pressing forward aggressively, every day aggressively, right? And if I wanted to get into the specifics, I would tell you all about the scriptures that I read. I would tell you about where I went. I would tell you all about everything I did on a daily basis so that I can empower you and show you that you don't have to stay in this stuck place. You don't have to be where you are. I'm going to motivate you to get to the next level. That's what my book would be about. Well, when I finish my fiction novel, when I go into my nonfiction piece at some point, but for most people dealing in nonfiction, you have to remember what your book is really about. And it's not just about you. It's not just about you. It is really about the people that you're trying to help, the people whose lives you're trying to change. So keep them in the forefront of your mind. Good morning, loves. So keep them in the forefront of your mind. And I want you, to let me know, anyone who is here this morning, or when you check it in, hit that replay, are you writing fiction or nonfiction? If you're writing nonfiction, write nonfiction in the comments so I'll know that that's where you are, because this is specifically for you. My fiction writers, we got a whole bunch of other stuff to cover at another time about story setting and pacing and dialogue, all that kind of stuff. But this is for the nonfiction authors who want to write a good book. What are you actually writing about? Well, you're not writing just about you. Good morning. You're not writing just about you. You are writing to change lives. You are writing to leave a message. And everything, that's another point, everything in your book should be doing work. Every section, every chapter should be taking us to a point. It should have a focus in that specific chapter. Like if this is one chapter in my life where I learned about prayer, if this is one section in my life where I learned about avoiding negative naysayers, if this is whatever this section is in your life, that's what that chapter is going to drive us to get to. So this is what I mean when I say, think about what you want your book to do. Brainstorm 5, 6, 7, 8, however many, 12 steps, 12 major things that you want to take away. I said, hey, back, because 12 things that you wanted us to take away from this whole thing, right? You got to think about that and then do the work in each of those sections. Do the work in every one of those sections. I want this chapter to move my audience to this. We got to start with mindset first. So this chapter has to deal with mindset. And then we got to start with daily actions. And then we got to start with monthly actions. Move us through a process. Move us through a process. Or else we're going to be looking at this book like, what is this? Why do I have this book? It has benefited me nothing. I wasted my money. And as an author, you shoot yourself in the foot. You shoot your credibility right in the foot. Nobody is going, if you don't have something that's quality and that people can learn from or is beneficial for them, it does no service. It does no service. So if you want your book to do what most people in this entrepreneurial day and age, this authorpreneur stage, that you want your book to do, then you have to put the good stuff in your book. So think about what your book is really about. It's about getting you to believe. Okay, well, walk me through the steps of believing. Use your story as the backdrop. Use your story to get me through the steps to believe in myself. Get me through the steps of getting out of an abusive relationship. Whatever those things are, that's the work that you're going to put into your manuscript. Okay, guys, I hope that makes sense for you guys this morning. Good morning. I love you guys all. Again, let me know where you are. If you're stuck, and if you are, I suggest, this is my word of advice to you, is to really, really, really spend some time thinking about that. Think about, the work that you want your manuscript to do, and then brainstorm the major takeaways. What are the major takeaways, right? Hashtag major takeaways. What are the major takeaways that you want your people to walk away from your book going, you know what? If I hadn't read that book, I wouldn't know this. If I had not have read this book, I would not have realized that this is the next step in my life. If I didn't read this book, I'd still be stuck. So that's what I want you guys to really think about and really make sure is in everything that you write, in your books, in your giveaways, in your blogs, whatever. Make sure that those valuable steps, those actionable things that people are coming to you for are there. Okay? Other than that, you're just wasting space and people's time. And we ain't got time to be wasting time. So that's my words of advice for you guys this morning. I love, love, love you. I hope that you are having an amazing Friday. It's almost Christmas, right? It is almost Christmas. There's so much to do. And I'm not even close to finish. I'm not doing a whole bunch of Christmas shopping. I promise you guys this. But I will tell you this funny story really quickly. I have a 12-year-old and a 7-year-old, and we were driving from the mall the other day. And I don't know how many of you guys get like a chill and it like run through your body, like you got like a little shiver. So I'm driving right, and the chill ran through me. So I'm like, ooh, like this. My 12-year-old was like, you good? Like, you good? Is you all right over there? The one behind the wheel. Do I need to call somebody? Yo, I laughed so hard because she was so serious. Like, you good? Yeah, I'm fine. Mommy just had a little chill, but we ain't gonna bang out or nothing. But them 2 words was all the concern in the world. You good? I'm fine, baby girl. But those are my children. I love them. Hope that you guys are all prepared and ready for an amazing Christmas. I love, love, love you all, and hope that you have an amazing day. And I'll talk to y'all soon. And remember to brainstorm. Really spend the time to think about what you're writing about. If you don't spend this time now, you're going to waste time when it comes to writing. I promise you that. You're just going to waste a lot of time and be frustrated. And then you're going to stop typing and it'll never get done. Okay? So do the work. Spend the time brainstorming, outlining. Do the work about what you want people to take away from your book. All right? I love you guys. Have an amazing day, and I'll see y'all soon.